Well, so let's continue. So far we got the source tables, sync tables, respective procedures, watermark table and the procedure for updates. We install the self-hosted IR. We configure the link service in ADF. Let's understand the pipeline. Here we go. It's a simple and interesting stuff now. Let's do it carefully. Well, so here we are in the ADF. Your linked service is ready. Linked services are ready. Go to Other button. We need to create data sets. You'll follow these notes carefully. You got the step-by-step information here. So log into Azure portal, create Azure SQL Server and database, launch SSMS, run the .SQL file for the source, then sync, then ADF, self-hosted IR, and linked services. Define two linked services, one for source, one for sync. Until here we are done in the previous part. Now other and monitor, create pipeline. Well, here it is, or you can put this way. Simply say from ADF portal, click on other button. I'll put this way. Go to other button. Well, other button, there you see factory resources. I'll show you here. Go to other button, factory resources. There click on plus symbol data set. We need to create 3 data sets here. Firstly, SQL Server data set for the source. I'll call it as source data set. Source data set, this one, with the source linked service. No need to select any table name. We get the table from the parameter directly. So it's something like this. Here it is for your notes and the reference. Same way, other Azure portal, other factory resources, new data set, get sync data set. Here we go. Plus symbol, data set, and Azure SQL. Provide Azure SQL type. There is one sync linked service. And then click OK. Just click OK. For sync, we need to link it to the source. So go to parameters, new parameter, and yes, you can make it as sync data set. This one, sync data set, table parameter. I'll take it as sync table name, this one, of type string. So we are taking it as sync table name, string data type, and we are going to set this dynamically. So source table name is empty for now, whereas sync table name, we just create a parameter first and go to connection, edit table, click on add dynamic content, this one. Whatever parameter we created just now, that parameter value should be taken as table name. You have to mention that whatever parameter we created just now, that would be taken as a table name. We'll see how to supply values to it step by step. So far you got sync dataset and source dataset ready. Remember, for sync dataset we created a parameter. Parameter is taken as a table name, the schema name.table name format. Thirdly, we need to create another dataset for watermark. Create plus dataset. Where is watermark? In target. Target is Azure SQL. Go to Azure SQL, sync linked service, provide the table name. I'll call it as watermark table. Click OK. So here we go. Just click OK. You got the third dataset, watermark dataset. So here it is. I'll just name it as watermark dataset in this way. You got all the things documented in the notes anyway. Next. You got total of 3 different datasets. So here is a synopsis so far. 2 integration runtimes and 2 linked services and 3 datasets. Okay, next. Here we go. Now let's create a pipeline. Click on plus pipeline, the final step. 2 integration runtimes, 2 linked services, 3 datasets, 1 pipeline. Go to pipeline. Here it is. From ADF portal and factory resources plus create pipeline. Next. So here it is. I think it's already there here anyway. Let's say pipeline plan, ADF pipeline plan. I'll put this way. And this is my ADF pipeline implementation. I'll put this way for easy understanding. Implementation and the plan. The ADF pipeline takes a list of table names as a parameter, and for each activity iterates through the list of all tables and perform lookups, copy and updates. Lookup for watermarks, copy for incremental loads, updates for watermark value into the watermark table. So to create pipeline, plus symbol and provide some name like this, something like this. Give some name. Next, in the parameters tab, go to table list. Here it is down. You got parameters plus parameter. Provide the required table list. Type should be array, this one. Why? Because we are supposed to supply table name, watermark column, procedure, merge procedure name as well as data type pertaining to the procedure. The user defined data type we defined in sync. We need to supply 4 values, so it should be array. Then go to for each. So here it is activity called for each activity, this one. Just drag and drop for each activity. So here it is, activities, iterations for each activity. Give some meaningful name. Remember, the for each activity takes only one input parameter called items. This one. Go to items. Where are the items? Items are nothing but the tables, and tables are inside the table list, right? Items are nothing but the tables. Tables are inside the table list. Table list is the array parameter we created just now. Finish. So whatever parameter you provided, whatever table list parameter you provided, the pipeline level is now given to pass to for each activity. And next, inside for each activity means inside the pipeline. See there, configuration. Click on configuration. Go inside the pipeline, and we need to have lookup. We require total of 2 lookups. We need to have total of 2 lookups, a clone like this. I'll just duplicate it. Here it is. Our pipeline plan, let me show you here. This one, right? Our pipeline plan would be something like this. I'll show you on our screen. Yes, old watermark table, one lookup. New watermark value or new timestamp value from another lookup. 1 and 2. And you got the array parameter, right? Just now. Link to for each. So here it is. Go back to the source. Lookup. What's the purpose of this lookup? To get new watermark value. Say old watermark value. Where is old watermark value? It is in watermark table. So as per your notes, down, select the for each activity, click on the pencil button. You're already in. Type their old watermark value, this one. No space in table in the pipeline or other activity names. Next, settings tab, and enter this query. See here, to identify the table name, there are 4 input values, right? Table name, watermark column, procedure name, data type. 4th one is data type. Now to identify the table name, say @item dot table name. For each activity is taking items. In that item, get table name. So here it is. Select from watermark table where table name equal to @table, say @item dot table name. So here you go, settings, from the watermark data set. Here it is, the watermark data set. Next, query for the given table. Okay, for the given table, get the entry. There is only one entry. One watermark is being maintained. The watermark table, there is only one entry per table. The latest watermark as of now. Next, So something like this. First row has first row only, means you're reporting only the first row only. Why? Only the latest value, only first row will be reported. Top one is getting reported, first row only. Then we have other watermark. Here it would be taken as lookup new watermark activity, where it is from the source. Take source data set. In source data set, get the maximum watermark value. Query and this one. Get the last or the maximum watermark value in this way. Max of watermark column. Next. Something like this. When we say max, this first row only is optional because I already said max here. Then drag and drop copy activity. Drag and drop copy activity from activities. Something like this. Drag and drop copy activity. This one. Say copy data activity. And give it from the source and the other source. This way get the copy data activity. Click on it to get the properties tab, properties window. So here it is, copy activity or copy data activity. This one, right? Incremental copy activity, give some name like this. No space in the name. Source, it should be from the source data set. But remember, theoretically, assume at 1 a.m. there was an ADF pipeline execution earlier. Now again another ADF pipeline execution 3 a.m. Then we are supposed to get the data delta. Delta changes from 1 to 3. 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. 1 a.m. is in the old watermark value. 3 a.m. is in new watermark value. So we are supposed to, technically we are supposed to extract data between these two timestamps. So here it is. Select from table name. Select from so and so table. Which table? The business table. First input table, second input table, etc. Where watermark column value is above old watermark and below new watermark. The watermark value is above old watermark and below new watermark. So select star from @item.table name where watermark column is above. What is this @watermark column? Let me show you here. This one. Watermark column. @table name. This one. @table name parameter. @watermark column is your parameter value. @watermark column equal to maybe last modified date in the first table, creation time in the second table. But the parameter identification is same. Watermark column is above old watermark activity but less than new watermark activity. To identify the first row, we say output dot first row dot watermark value. What is this? Watermark value is a column. This one. Watermark value is a column in watermark table. This one. Watermark column is, this one is a column in watermark table in the old lookup. And again watermark column from the input parameter is less than or equal to new watermark value. What is new watermark? Yes, in the lookup activity, I said as new watermark value, right? This one as new watermark value. This new watermark value is taken as a reference here. This one. Click on this one. Say dot new watermark value. So you're just identifying the delta, the differential data. Go to sync, provide the sync data set, provide sync data set. You already got the sync table name, right? Starting of our example today for the pipeline, for data set, sync data set, there was a parameter. So what about the value here? Yes, for sync, you supply the value. Here it is. For sync, you have to supply the value item dot table name. This one. Add dynamic content. Item dot table name. Finish. Procedure. For every table, procedure changes. For every table, procedure keeps changing. So how to get the procedure name? This one, SP per merge, SP per merge. Procedure name keeps changing. So click on dynamic content, just like getting the table name. Just like getting the table name, it should be procedure name like this. Copy the procedure name and supply it and click finish. Next. We cannot import any parameter now because procedure name keeps changing. First table procedure may have only 5 columns, 5 business columns. Second procedure may contain some more business columns. It depends. So parameter may be different. So provide the table type that signify the parameters. Click on dynamic content. Provide the table data type. Say table type. And table type resembles. The table type is for the purpose of table name. Which table name? Here it is. This particular table name. @item dot table name. So table type, table name, procedure name should match. There's a concept here. This is completely different. The destination table. Here we have procedure that works on particular data type that refers to a specific table. These three should match. Then comes finally a stored procedure activity. Give a procedure activity. Final step. And then pipelining to the procedure like this. Next, go to the procedure. Say procedure activity. I'll just give some procedure activity name like this. This is straightforward. We have static procedure to update the watermark value. So provide the sync linked service and procedure name. This one, right? USP procedure watermark. Import parameters. The static procedure, so we can import parameters. I'll just drag it up. And last modified date, table name. These two are the parameters. So last modified date, you got the values here. Last modified date, supply the value. This should be the new watermark value from the new watermark activity, right? This one. The second activity, new lookup activity, extract the value, give it to watermark table. Because current ETL end time would be the start ETL for the next level, next incremental loads. Table name. You can get the table name from either the watermark table, or we can also get it from @item.table_name. Here it is, @item.table_name, or get it from activity directly, something like this. Finally, publish all. Before that, let's recap once again. Old watermark value based on the given table name. New watermark value, max. Copy data and then give the procedure name. Next, once you get this information, finally publish it. And yes, there are no validation errors, so publish option is available now. Say click on publish. Once it is published, then as usual you can schedule the pipeline. As usual you can schedule the pipeline, or publish is completed, just trigger it once. It's up to you. Now while performing the triggering, it will ask you for parameter. Which parameter? Yes, in your same value here, say this one, following value, and say finish, this one. Just wait. Yes, in this is the actual format. Copy the complete JSON format, supply the value like this, and click OK. Okay, now the pipeline would take some time to execute. It's a simple and straightforward concept. Yes, first 2 to 3 times we need to practice it. Then the logic is very simple and straight. Really, it's all about extract old watermark value, new watermark value, identify the data delta, copy the data loads, and update the procedure so that current or the latest current lookup watermark value would be old watermark value for the next ETL execution. That is the actual concept here. Next, apart from this, we can also have the settings separately for faster data loads. So go to settings, and here also we can change the DIUs or DOCP, degree of copy parallelism. We can do that. In the meantime, my pipeline is successful. So as usual, go to monitor. It took about 58 seconds and it was successfully performed. We can also go to the source and perform some incremental changes. You add few more changes at the source, like for example something like this. Add few more changes at the source, like for example something like this here. Okay, and then again perform ETL and verify whether those ETL changes are given to the destination or not. So this way you'll practice by implementing the diagram, this one. So table name given to every activity, watermark column name given to this particular box 2 only. Let me show you. Go to pipeline, Let me show you here. Inside the iteration and this watermark. Here you see the watermark settings. Here it is, watermark column based on the table name. So first watermark column has only table name reference. Second one has two parameters, column and table. Procedure and the table name parameters were given to the copy data sync, this one, merge and the procedure table names, right? And then we triggered it only once. You may schedule it multiple times. With this information, we'll practice this item carefully and use me for your questions and clarifications.